Hey, what's going, y'all? It is yours truly once again. You cannot remove her imprint. No, you can't remove it, bro. It was there. The initial stage of when a man basically enters her, whether mentally or physically, that will always remain. That's basically like her, what I would call her social sexual foundation, and everything else will be a determinant factor based on her initial uh, imprint per se. And it definitely makes for a lot of unequally yoked situations. So this is why if you're a man that is truly a spiritual man, truly empathic in many ways, like yours truly is, you'll keep in mind that, it's just not going to work out with certain females that you deal with. Now, this also even affects the corporate climate, which is why if you look at a lot of the ways how Me Too movement has affected the workplace, you find that a lot of startup companies and a lot of entrepreneurs are just being very minimal with women in workspaces per se. A lot of them would prefer to deal with a lot of, I would say, married women per se, but not a lot of single women, because at least the married woman is more likely restrained. She's ordered per se. He's not worrying about her trying to lash out at him, take stuff out on him. So the imprint even affects the workplace basically, you know. Especially if you're dealing with a single woman that's like a manager, and so she's not used to uh male, just masculinity, and so it's one of those things where it hasn't been truly challenged. But obviously in the law of discrimination there is this thing of where, yes, if it is a gender issue, you can address it. Of course, with sexual harassment, that takes it to another level. But I'm just saying it just shows you how the imprint even affects the workplace. I know I didn't fully break that down, but some of y'all get the drift. Um, but let's go back to the personal, not professional. Um, the way this goes as far as not being able to remove her imprint is, um, like I said, with the first initial three men, especially the first one, but usually it goes with the first three. I say the first three because from what I'm gathering, yes, the first guy, he is the first, her first, basically, to take her virginity, however way you want to look at it. But see, based on that first guy will determine the next two guys. And those two guys are usually like the first guy. From personal experience, I know this. But from a mental standpoint, I had a child. I had a high school sweetheart who she knew me. We were cool. We were close. I never was able to imprint her physically, but mentally, I still was able to, because after she stopped talking to me, all of her next boyfriends per se, or her fiancés, had a similar personality like mine. She got with guys that were like on the intelligent side and very artistic and things like that. I found that kind of interesting. So basically, I was one of the first few guys of her imprinting stage. And so I'm pretty sure I wasn't her first. So this is very important for what I mean by the rewriting of the imprint. Because a woman in this case, ladies, please listen up. Depending on how many guys that you've dealt with in your life, those first three are the important. Yes, the big three. If you know about what the big three is, the big three car companies of Detroit. Now, let's just say, just apply the big three in regards to the imprint. Yes, the big three, the first guys, no pun intended on the word big. Okay. So the big three, um, yeah, the first guy, yes, he was a bum. But however, if you improve upon the next two guys, or just better yet, just only get with the second guy, and hopefully you don't have to move on to the third guy. That second guy will obviously be hopefully better than that first guy that you dealt with. And that can rewrite your imprint. Because after that, after the third guy, it just becomes very tough for you to really pair bond with the next man, because a lot of your thoughts, your views, your outlook on life, everything is set on those first three men. And every guy after that will a lot of them will be based on those first three men that you've gotten with. So this makes a rewriting of an imprint very rough, but not impossible. Now, it's impossible to remove your initial imprint. Yes, it is impossible to remove your initial imprint, but it is not impossible to rewrite the imprint. So, fellas, this is where you come into play in regards to how to rewrite her imprint. She has to be a willing vessel. Now, I've been seeing people throw this word around talking about what a woman allows you to do. I would like to say, what if I were to tell you that it's not about allowing, it's just about her being willing? A man is going to be a man. The masculine principle will always remain the masculine principle, no matter how a person tries to deviate it. A man that's truly masculine, he doesn't change who he is on his perspectives. Regardless, he doesn't change. He stands on what he believes and what he firmly knows. Just like the Creator said, I am who I am, I change not. So this basically means overall that as a man deals with a woman, she just has to be willing. No, it is not about what she allows him to do. It's about her being willing. Because if she's not willing, he's just going to continue to stand on his masculine principles with or without her. And of course, he'll run into a woman that's more willing to have her imprint rewritten. Because if you look up rewrite, that basically means to start something over again or to alter it as to make it better. That's basically the definition of a rewrite. But if it's like a song, okay, let's say we was writing a song. Let's just think of a song. Let's just call it Love Jams. Let's say I made a song called Love Jams. But let's say Love Jams was a really bad song. Okay, I get the next writer. He says, all right, let's rewrite this song over again. But he still has to stick with the same title of the song, Love Jams. So this is how it is with rewriting the imprint. Look at imprint as the name of the song. You cannot rewrite the imprint. You cannot change the word imprint. Basically, you cannot change the influence of the first big three guys, but what the next guy can do is rewrite the imprint, the song. He can change the theme of the song, the theme of the guys that she's been with, as long as she's willing. And there's ways you do this. There's a lot of different ways you do this. I'm not going to go into detail on this particular video, but I'm just giving y'all kind of a synopsis, if you will, or just kind of a overall summary of how this is done in regards to rewriting her imprint. But she has to be willing. I don't give out the game. I give out recipes. I'm all about the recipe. I'm all about what I give out to people to help edify their meals, their soul. This is what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, the rewriting of the imprint, that's what men can do as long as she is willing, but not what she allows him to do. It's not about that. It's about her being willing. Okay. Now, I have one more experience I can share with y'all right quick. I've had a female reject my imprint mentally and physically. Maybe not necessarily physically, because I don't know, females have this way of where when things ain't going right and they get around certain guys, they remember that last guy and they call him back like, hey, what you doing? I've been thinking about you lately, blah, blah, blah. Right. So maybe there was also some truth to the things he's saying. Maybe she misses his presence and the way he cared for her. So that's part of the mental imprint. You know what I'm saying? So that could help in rewriting, once again, as long as she is willing. And that requires basically an act of submission, because her being willing is just her way of trusting that he will rewrite her imprint. Basically, I got you, baby. Don't worry about it, okay? I got you, okay? But, he ain't gonna be no simp. Nah, that ain't what he mean by I got you, meaning I gotta keep chasing after you. No. That's not what it mean. When a man says I got you, that means because he know that, you know what I'm saying, you in that position, of where you willing. And so therefore he gonna make sure you taken care of. I got you, right? That's that song too. I got you, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had a female that she rejected my imprint overall. But what lets me know that uh, basically I still have a part of my imprint could be if she ever called me back or ever tried to chase me down one day again. And that has happened before. So, yes, females can reject imprints too. I would say partially, not completely, partially. Signing out.